Okay, today we are going to talk about node management and how to get uh, so many materials and items only by nodes and worker. We want to build a worker empire, workers empire. Okay, first thing, to make a workers, to hire workers, we need contribution points. Contribution points can be get we can get contribution points by many ways, like cooking and doing alchemy and doing quests. Like when you cook, you will get this, which is delicacy. You can exchange it for contribution XP and of course cooking XP. So we can get so much contribution points only by cooking or doing alchemy, and the new updates give us the chance to make contribution points by doing fishing and gathering by this discarded glass bottle and uh, something. This you get by fishing. You can exchange it. You can exchange this at NPC Creo at Villia over here. Creo. So first thing, we need to talk about how to hire a worker. We go to any work supervisor in each major city or small city. There is a work supervisor. Any city that have storage have a work supervisor that help you to hire a worker. So at Heidel, it's over here. His name is Joel. You can see in Villia too. Over here, his name is Santo Manzi. So every city have a storage, also have a work supervisor that can let you hire workers, and each city have its own workers. So workers from Heidel are separate from workers from Villia. If you can see here the list of Heidel workers. Each worker have his own city, so like a place to sleep. So all of these workers living in Heidel, they can farm nodes and work at any node, or even in the same city or other cities. But they should, any place the worker can work at, it should be connected to the main city, to his city. Like if we want a worker from Heidel to work at this auto farm, it need to be connected to Heidel, as you can see. This is the list of Villiers workers, Olivia workers. So you have in every city the workers capacity. Like you can see here, I have 23 out of 23 in Heidel. So if I want to increase this max capacity, okay, so I have here 23 out of 23, and if we want to increase the maximum of the workers, we need to buy logins like these, logins like this. It gives us extra room to hire more workers. You can buy this with contribution points, so that's why we need contribution points for workers, not just to buy nodes, to buy rooms for these workers. As you can see here in Heidel, like this one we can buy it. It requires 2 contribution points. The smart thing is each one logging we need we can only buy with 1 contribution point. We don't want to spend like 2 contribution points for 1 logging. Each 1 logging we need to invest only 1 contribution point. So this is the smart thing to do. As you can see, sometimes you can invest 1 contribution for 3 loggings, 3 levels. So I can hire 1 at level 1, 2 at level 2, 4 workers at level 3. So I have 3 levels at this logging. With 1 contribution point I am hiring 4 workers. So this is so worth. And sometimes it's only 1 contribution for 1 logging, 2 contribution for 2 logging, 3 contribution here for 5 logging. So this is how to hire workers. Okay, Summer, you want to hire worker, right?
Question.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this. So I bought 3 workers in Idle, but they are all a native worker and a skilled giant worker. But they are not good, because which one is the best you can take?
Of course, this is a great question. Never take the giant workers. The giant workers are so slow. They have so much stamina, of course, but they are so slow at working. So they get they take so long to get their job done. Like if you have a worker here in this farm, pumpkin farming,
Mhm.
as or this cooking honey, if you have a giant worker, he needs like maybe 2 hours to get
Mhm.
1 job done here. As a goblin, he needs like 20 minutes only, or 30 minutes. If he have a high level like artisan goblin, he only need like 30 minutes to get this job done. So every day he will get like, maybe we have 24 hours a day, so he can make like 48 loads. 48 time he will give you
Mm.
cooking honey. Each time will give you like maybe 30 cooking honey or something. So goblin worker are the fastest.
Mhm. So, if
But
you have like 3 giant workers,
yeah,
do you fire them?
yeah, of course, if you have giant workers, you don't need them. You only need goblins, and sometimes you need humans. Because goblins are the fast at working, but they have the lowest stamina. So when you leave the goblin work, it will take him like 30 minutes for each 1 stamina, and he have like 8 or 10 stamina at start. So he will get his job like 10 times and he will stop. If you don't feed him, he will stop until
Mm.
you feed him again and he get back to work. So human have like balanced. He is slower than the goblin, but he's little bit fast, and he have a good amount of stamina, not as much as giant, but it's better than the goblin. So the jobs that doesn't take so much time, you can hire a human over there. So when you keep the game running all overnight, the human will keep working even after you wake up. He will keep working, so he will give you much more resources than the goblin, because the goblin will work for like 4 or 5 hours and then he will stop because there's
Hmm.
no stamina. Yeah.
So the
uh,
best you can take is a human.
yeah, you can take a goblin or a human, but goblins, if you are interested to make a really big empire, you can take only goblins, because when goblin become an artisan, of course his work speed will increase, movement speed, and also stamina will increase. Each worker have his
Hmm.
own status. Yeah. So
Okay.
his stamina will increase to 15. So
Hmm.
he will give you more time, more work. So he will be able to work more hours. So
Okay, so if you want to get one, then you have to press few continuously or just hire a worker.
yeah.
If you
No.
want, because you want the goblin.
Yeah, you can press the continuous search. We will talk about this next, how to hire
Okay.
a worker. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for me, to end this subject, for me, I prefer the goblins only. I rarely take the humans, and I'm going to change any human. I want to fire him and get a new goblin worker instead. As you can see here, most of my workers are goblins, and of course there is an upgrading that you can make, the promotion you can make the goblin or any worker, you can promote him. So he will change from like a normal goblin to a skilled goblin worker, then to a professional, then to an artisan, and the max level is artisan, level uh, 30. So this is the max level of the goblin. We will talk about this in another video, because we have a lot of content
Yeah.
to cover in this video, how to hire the goblins, what's the good nodes, and how to get space and contribution, and make space on your storage, so you can have more space for the resources that the workers will get you. So let's start. If you want to hire a worker, you go, as we spoke before, you go to any work supervisor. Like if I want to hire a worker at Heidel, I want to make sure that I have a space. Here you press on the map, you go to Heidel, then you press on the workers list down there. You see I have 23 out of 23, so I don't have any more space to hire any new workers. So I need to buy with contribution a place so that the new worker can sleep at. You can also buy the places not just from the main city, you can buy from the nodes. The nodes have some houses, so you can buy actually houses from the nodes. As you can see on the map, you can press on the node, and you can see there is houses that you can buy but it's not always. You don't find load gang always, not at each house. Here we have one, but if I want to buy this one, I need to purchase this first. So we will search for another one to buy. This one have no houses. I have storages over here. Any node in Serendia region is can hold idle houses. So let's see. Okay, I think I don't have there is a menu over here to make you search even faster. So this is the places that have loading in it, like this one. This one needs two contribution points. I only have one, so I can't buy it. I need two contribution points, but it's not a smart thing to do. It's not a smart thing to buy one load gang with two contribution points. You need to buy each load gang with one contribution point only. Okay, let's see. If I want to contract a worker, I can either buy a worker that other player are selling on this menu, worker exchange. Here you can sell your workers or buy. So I can sell my workers here, and if you want to sell them, sometimes you can make a profit. Like this workers, I have 13 million each worker I can sell, because they are goblins and they are artisan, so, and level 30, so they are expensive. 30 million is 13 million is a good price to sell, but I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell my goblins. I may sell the human, but not the goblins, because I
Second, because if you hire them, then you will not get money. But if you sell them, you will get money.
When you hire the worker, you there is two ways to hire the worker. You can buy it from another player, or you can hire him using energy, 5 energy.
No, I mean I had 3 workers, you know, but I
Yeah,
fired them. I
yeah.
fired them. But if
Well,
I had sold them, I would get money.
yeah, but not you can't sell any worker. The worker need to be skilled, I think, or professional and higher.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and you need to wait for other player. So if the worker are a bad worker, no one will buy him, maybe. But there is some players that doesn't really care about the worker, if it is it good or bad. They just want like a goblin worker, so they will buy any goblin worker. So let's see this. We don't have a space over here. I just want a city that have a space. 23. Let me see. Okay, I have I can hire a worker at Altinova, so I'm heading to Altinova. I'm heading to Altinova to show how this workers thing actually works. How to hire a worker by energy. So I will speed this up.
Mm. Now do you know that you can buy one in Altinova?
Yeah, you can press at the city, any city,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a worker list. Like press on idle.
Mm-hmm.
There is a worker list. You can see down there a symbol of a pickaxe. You see it?
Not yet.
Just press on the city. There is symbols over down to the right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there
Mm-hmm.
is a pickaxe symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you press on it. You see the workers list. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
it shows how many workers you have and how many max you can hire.
Mm. Where do you see? Oh, 1 out of 3. Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
so you
Mm-hmm.
have one worker and you can hire two more.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me just.
But how do you know what is the best to invest in?
Yeah, I will show you. Just bear with me. I just wanna arrive to Altino because I can't access. I have no access to the workers hiring unless I have a free slot, you know. And I don't have in Heidel, but I have a free slot in Altinova.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm heading to Altinova.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now do you know what is the best to invest in? I mean, there are lots of nodes, isn't there?
Yeah.
So which node? You just look at it and think, oh, that's interesting. Or
Yeah. It's. I will show you now. Just let me show how to hire a worker. What's what
mm-hmm.
what's information, what status we actually need. Okay. This is the worker supervisor over here in Altinova. In Altinova, when you wanna hire a worker in Altinova, you head to this guy, Avet, his name. Okay. Now we want to hire a worker normally, not buying or selling anything, just hiring a normal worker. We choose this menu, contract workers. It costs 5 energy to hire a worker. So each time I want to refresh, I need to pay 5 energy. It consumes 5 energy. Okay. This is the worker available, a human worker. It's a green, so it's like a beginner worker. Here is his information, his speed, movement speed, the work speed, and the movement speed are the most thing we need in each worker. The work speed and the movement speed, because the movement speed makes the worker go fast to the place he wanna farm or mine, and come back to the storage. So it helps the worker to work faster. And of course, there is the stamina and the luck. The luck, uh, it's like the RNG, like how much material he will come back with. So the higher the luck, the more materials your worker will get every time he come back from the node. And the stamina, each time the worker go to a place and mine or farm or do anything, any job, and come back, he consume 1 stamina. So this worker have 30 stamina, so he can work 30 times before you feed him. After he finished, you need to feed him to refresh his stamina again. So this worker can work all day and all night with this 30 stamina, so he can work a lot of times. Okay, we will view another worker. We will consume 5 more energy. This is a giant worker. Giant worker have his work speed and movement speed will always be low because he's giant, he's slow, and his stamina is always high. But of course there is always some RNG. Some, as you can see, this giant have 25 stamina. The previous worker was a human and he have even more stamina. So sometimes, yes, the workers can have different types of stamina. Sometimes the giant can have like 35 or 40 stamina. So it's all RNG in these workers, and you can also sometimes have a higher grade when you view workers. You have like not just a giant worker, like a skilled worker or professional worker. It's the best, of course, the higher grade, the best to take. Okay, let's view another one. We consume another 5 energy. It's the same worker. Okay, again. Okay, this is a goblin worker. As you can see, work speed is 50, so it's so high. Movement speed is 4. It's double the human and the giant. So this is so fast combining to the human and the giant worker. His luck, but his stamina is only 10. As we said before, the goblin have low stamina because he's small, but he's so fast. So the goblin workers are always, for me, always the best because the work speed and the movement speed are the only important thing with workers. You can also view content continuously. This option will give you some options like what workers it will give. This list will keep refreshing automatically until it find the you know the wanted the things you need. Okay, I'm cutting
So,
this off the
so
video.
I did few continuously, yeah? And then at
Yeah.
the right, you see normal and up, skilled, professional, artisan only. Is it smart? It just hits artisan only and then it keeps looking for artisan?
Yes,
Is it
it will keep.
smart? Hmm?
No, if you choose a higher grade, a really high grade,
Hmm?
it will be so hard. So you need so much energy. You need a lot of energy, and you may
Hmm.
not find this because it's super rare to find an artisan. But
Okay.
for me, skilled is good. To choose a
Skilled.
skilled, yes.
So the
Uh,
best thing is to do it continuously and
yes,
then hit skilled.
yes, and
Hmm.
you can see how many times you wanna view. Like, if you don't want to consume all your energy, you can choose how much energy you want to consume. Like, I will search for only 10 times and
Hmm.
press view conto. I choose the skilled grade, and only 10 times to search 10 times. That will like save us some time, and I press view continuously. It will keep changing
You want
automatically.
it. How you stop it?
It will stop by itself when it find when it find the chosen you know the chosen.
Yeah, but I saw a goblin. Okay, it was a noob, but if he works, he can get better. But now he stopped at the skilled giant worker. But we
If
want a goblin.
yes, if you can't choose to stop at goblin or a giant or something. When you want to view continuously,
Mm.
you can only choose what grade you want to stop on
Oh.
and how many times you want to try. So if you choose
Ah.
skilled, it will keep going on until you find a skilled. It will stop by itself, and it will also stop consuming energy. Like if you choose 10 times and you find a skilled one from the fifth time, it will
Mm.
stop and will not consume more energy. And
Mm.
if you didn't find the skilled you asked for, it will keep going on until how many times you choose. Like if
Mm.
you choose 10 times, it will stop at 10 at the 10th time.
Okay, and
So
skilled is enough, yeah? So,
yeah, skilled is very good
okay.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try it again. Okay, from the sixth time, I found a skilled giant worker, but of course I don't want a giant worker, so I will try it again. So it stopped. It didn't consume 10 times energy, like 15 energy, 50. It only consumed a sixth try for the sixth try. Okay, I'll view continuously again for 20 this time until we find a skilled goblin. If you can find, okay, I found a skilled goblin. Of course, when you first hire the worker will be level 1, even if it was skilled goblin or professional or whatever the level, the grade is, he will be level 1. So the work speed is only the start, and the movement and all his status, this is only the start. So whenever he work, he will gain XP, he will level up, so his status will change. He will work faster, his movement speed will be upgraded, his luck will increase, stamina sometimes will increase, sometimes it doesn't. So I will hire this one, the skilled goblin worker at Altinova. Now when I go to the city, to the map, and I see the workers list, now I have 40 14 out of 14. So this is the new worker that I hired. He is level 1 still because he didn't work yet. So as you can see, each worker have, at each 5 levels he will gain a skill, a unique skill. This skilled goblin worker have his first unique skill is the movement speed plus 5%. So each 5 levels of the worker, he will gain a new unique skill. As you can see, this is a skilled goblin level 13. He have 7 unique skills, and these skills of course you can change, and we will talk about this later, how to change the worker skills. This is an end game, content. so we don't want to confuse anybody. It's for to change the skills. It's the best to change an artisan goblin because it's the max level. Because if you change workers' skills at like skilled or professional, it's gonna change again because he will grade up from skilled to professional, so he will be level 1 again. So all his skills will be refreshed and he will start getting new skills again. So you don't bother with changing his skills when he is a skilled or professional. Only when he reach artisan, because this is the max level, the max grade, then you start changing, and there's of course some conditions to change his skills. Okay, as you can see, not all the workers have the same status. This one have like work speed 142, this one have 146, this one 142 also. So, and the movement speed and the status, of course they are all goblins, artisan goblins, but each one have his own status and own skills, of course, unique skills. Okay, now we know how to hire a worker from the worker supervisor, and of course we know how to buy and sell workers. Like I just got this skilled goblin worker at Altinova. As you can see, I can register him at market and sell him. This is the list of your registration. This is how you register. You, of course, if the worker is working, you can't register him until he finished. So you can then register him to sell him. And this is the market list. The market list will show you the workers that you can buy. But as you can see, you need to see what city is the worker working for. Like this one is a professional human worker. He works at Valencia. So if I buy this worker, he can't work at Altinova. He will only work at Valencia. So even if I have a space in Altinova, I can't hire this worker if I don't have a space in Valencia, because this worker will be at Valencia and this worker too. So we need to focus at the workers, like which city is this worker living in. We can't hire a worker at Heidel if we don't have a space at Heidel. Even if we have a space in other cities like Altinova, if we want to hire a worker at Heidel, we need to have a space at Heidel only.
But if he has a space in Idle,
Yeah.
can you send them to, like, send Grain Bazaar? No. He has to stay around Idle.
Like
Yeah?
you mean if I have a worker at Heidel, I want to transfer him to other city.
Yeah, like send grain because it's better stuff, you know? But you cannot.
Yeah,
Can
I
you?
see. No, you can't transport your workers. Once you hire a worker at Heidel, he will be only at Heidel. He's living there, and he will keep living there. So I can't transport a worker from Heidel to Velia or to any other city. If I want a worker in like Velia, I need to hire him from Velia, and he will stay at Velia. Can't transport him. Okay.
That's too bad. Okay.
Now we know how to get uh, contribution points, as we said, life skilling, cooking and gathering, fishing, and alchemy. We can get contribution, but the main the main source for the contribution point is the quests. Every quest in this game, almost every quest, will give you some contribution points. So open your quest menu and look at all quests. You can see that you have a standard reward. It's called CB. It refers to contribution points. As you can see, 500 contribution points, 500 XP. Sorry, 500 XP for the contribution points, because contribution points have XP. So you don't just get one contribution point for a quest. No, you get XP, and when you reach 100%, you get one contribution point. So each quest in this game will have a contribution point EXP. So this is the main resource for contribution points. And of course, cooking can give you much more than that. As you can see, this quest have 500 EXP. It's a lot for a quest, but this discarded glass bottle, you just give 5 of these to Creo at Villia. He will give you 900 contribution EXP and 30 fishing XP. So life skilling gives way better, way faster. It's the fastest way to get contribution points is to do some life skilling, like cooking or gathering or alchemy or fishing, especially fishing, because you just AFK all night, so you'll get some of this discarded glass bottle. It's a new content, by the way.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Now after we bought a lot gang and we have a worker, what should we do? What should we do is to invest some contribution in a node. As you can see, this node, if we want to invest in this node, we just click on it and we see we need 2 contribution points for this node. Northern swamp. it's south to Heidel, down Heidel. It's northern swamp. There is a farm, a dwarf mushroom that give you a dwarf mushroom and a big dwarf mushroom. So you need to pay 2 contribution points to open the whole node, and then you need also 2 contribution points to open this farm. So when you do this, when you open the node and then open the farm, then you can send your worker to work here. Otherwise you can't send him. You can't just send your worker to work any place. You need to invest with contribution point, and this place should be connected, of course, to your main to the city that have the worker. So if I want to work at let's say this rumbling land, on this one, this node, ancient fissure, ancient fissure. If I want to invest here, I can't invest because it's not connected. So I need to connect this node to any major city like Heidel, then send the worker from this city to that node so he can work. When I click here, I can't invest in this, so I have an option to see the previous node. So it gives me 3 previous nodes. This one have a line, you see the white line. This line means that if this it means that this node is connected to this one, to this gate. So I need this first to invest with contribution point in it, then I can invest with this farm. So you can send your worker only on a connected node. It should not be directly. It doesn't matter if it's directly connected to the city or not, but it should be connected somehow, like this. It's not connected directly to Heidel. It's connected this node, northern plane of Sarandia. It's not connected directly to Heidel, but it's connected to the Lynch Farm ruins, and Lynch Farm ruins connected to Heidel, so that should be enough. This is how node connection works. So even if I want to send a worker from Villia to this place, I can, as long as Villia connected to Heidel. As you can see, Villia connected to this node, to this, to the gate, to other gate, to Heidel, to this node, and to this node. So as long as these nodes are connected, you can send the worker. Alright.
Yeah. Okay, and when you say a node war, can you invest it still?
Yeah, node war doesn't affect anything about nodes investment or anything. It's
Mm.
for the guilds only. It doesn't affect anything at all
Okay.
at this investment. Okay,
Mm.
now if you want, after you hired your worker, bought your load gang for the worker and hire the worker and invest in the node and send your worker to work. Now let's say you need to increase your income. Like, I am investing in this Costa farm. I have 3 farms over here, 3 workers are working. So this is like let's say the pumpkin farm. How to increase the pumpkin income from this
Mm.
farm? As you can see, I have here 42,000 pumpkin. Okay, how to increase the income? There is many ways to increase the income. First, the level of the node. So when I invest in a node, I can invest with energy now to increase this node's level. When I invest with contribution and buy the farm or invest in the farm will be level 1. As you can see, level 1. So this level, this node investment level, is the drop rate. So the drop rate affects the loadout for the node. Each time I increase the node level, the loadout, the drop rate will increase, so the loadout will increase too. So if my worker each time comes to this node and work and come back with, like, let's say 10 pumpkins, if I increase the level, he will come back with more than 10, like 15. I'm sorry, 15. Next level he will come back with like maybe 20. So each time you increase the nodes level, the item drop rate will increase. So even if there was a monsters over there at that area and you grant these monsters, this actually affected by the node level. Like let's say you are grinding stars end. So if you invest in this stars end node, if you invest here and you increase your node level, the item drop rate will increase, so your loot from monsters will increase too. Like you are using a scroll. Okay, let's see how this affect. So as you can see, this farm have level 6 node level. This node level is level 6. So I have an item drop rate of 30%. But this node have max level 10. So I have 50%. It's a huge. See the difference? I have 30% plus 30% for level 6, and for level 10 I have 50%. So each level it's like 5% increase. Each level of the node it increases 5%. Now what's the difference between this big node and the farms in it? So if I increase this node level, all the farms will be increased. All the item drop rate will be increased in those 3 farms. And if I increase the item drop rate, the level of this node, I increase the item drop rate at this farm only. So it's better to invest the energy in the whole node first, then I start increasing the level of each farm. As you can see, all these 3 farms are level 6 and the whole node is level 10. So that's why, as you can see here, wheat farm, flax farm, pumpkin farm. As you can see, there's a lot of wheat, 132,000 wheat. There's 71,000 flax and flax thread, and the pumpkins 42,000. So as you can see, there's a lot of materials over here because I have so much nodes, so I have so much resources keep coming all the time. Now we know how to buy a room for the worker, how to hire the worker, how to invest in a farm, and how to send the worker. Let's talk about how to send a worker to work. Okay, let's say this lava cave, you can cancel the worker whenever you want. So I want to cancel this worker. Now he stopped mining. Okay, now this node have a worker working on it, so this little symbol will show that there is a worker is working. Need 40 minutes to end his job. So now this node doesn't have a worker because we cancelled it. So I want to show you how to send the worker. You press on the node, press on the mine, you can see I can send workers from Altinova, the main city of this area, and from Heidel I have a worker, idle, an idle worker from Heidel, and an idle worker from Calphion, and an idle worker from Trent. So because my cities, all my cities, almost all my cities are connected, I can send a worker from any place because they are connected, because Altinova connected to Heidel, to Calphion, to Trent. So I can send a worker from Calphion, but it will take so much time. As you can see, 1 hour and a half from Calphion. From Trent it will take 2 hours and a half for one time. So each time the worker will take 2 hours and a half just to make one job. But if we take a worker from Altinova, it will take him 1 hour to go to this node and to work, to mine, and to come back. This will cost him 1 hour and 2 minutes. So the closer the place, the better. You can see which worker you want to send, what is better. Like this skilled goblin from Heidel is fast, his movement speed is high, and his work speed is high, so you only need 1 hour and 3 minutes. From Altinova he need 1 hour and 30 minutes. So it's better to take the less time, but I want to take this new one because he's only level 1, and when he level up, his movement speed will improve, his work speed will improve, so he will be able to upgrade. So he will be faster, and he will be after 1 week maybe he will take less time to complete the job. So how many times I want him to come and do this job? Of course, like infinity. So the max you can ask him to do it is 50,000. So it's like infinity. So we choose 50,000 time and start. Now this worker started his mission. So this is the time. You can actually also see the worker moving out from his house and going to work, as you can see. And even when he starts working, you can see him at the place working. Like this. You can see your workers walking all the time and working. Unless if you can see them, of course you need to go to options and activate this option. Okay, now we showed you how to send the worker to his job. Now when the workers are working, every time they work they consume 1 stamina, so you need to refill their stamina all the time, like each hour or each 2 hours or however. So they need food or beer or something to feed these workers. I personally, I myself, I use this good grilled bird meat. It's good because it's cheap and it's easy to make if you want to make it. It doesn't need so much ingredients. It only need chicken, meat, and three other things that you can buy from an NPC. So you only need one main thing and three NPC things. So it's really easy. You can mass produce these as long as you want contribution points. So you actually need to mass cook these. You can see I have 197,000 of this, so I'm good. How to refill? There is a worker menu. You can click on it. When you see this workers menu flashing red, that means there is a worker have his stamina drained to 0, so you need to refill him. So you click on this. You don't need to search on this worker. You just click recover all. It will show you how much stamina for all your workers you need to recover. So I have 216 for all workers, so I recovered them all. Now some workers like this one maybe become an idle when their stamina ran off. They are idles. They don't work anymore because they don't have any stamina, and when you refresh their stamina they don't go to work again. You need to send them again because they stopped. So there is a button over here, repeat all. So if any worker stopped working, he will go back to his work after you refresh his stamina. You just click here, all the workers will go back to work. So if there was any idle worker, he will go back to his previous work. This one is an idle because I ordered him to stop working, so it's fine. So this is how to refill workers' stamina and to send them again to their work. Now we will talk about the nodes. Okay, Sama, we will talk about the nodes that we
You're
want.
talking about nodes, and I see something really strange.
What?
If you go to nodes, it's
Yeah.
like I see sunflower, but it says great. Grapes. You know?
Grapes.
But great. Great. I will type it, you know?
Okay.
Look. This.
Grapes.
Can,
Oh
can
yes.
can you put that on a horse? Because if I want to make like special sunflower, it says great. Can I put it on a horse if I make it?
These crates are for trading. These crates you can make them for trading. Trading is another whole thing. We will talk about trading on another video because trading is another whole life skilling. It's
So the grades in the beginning you just skip. You don't look if it says great. You don't do it.
yeah.
Mm.
And the nodes that gives crates,
Mm.
they have a special conditions. You need to have a higher the highest rank 1 house or something, so don't bother about this now.
Okay.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the nodes that we need, or the best nodes to have here in this game. For each city, I just remembered, in each city, either major city or like Velia or Heidel, or even small cities like Olivia or Keblen or Glash. Each city have one free slot for workers, so you can
Mm.
hire a worker without having any lodgings. So as you can see, I don't have any lodgings at Olivia, but I have a worker. So each city have one worker slot, one free slot. If you want more than one worker at that city, then you need to buy a lodging with contribution points. Like as you can see at Elyton, I have one worker, one slot, and I didn't buy any house, any lodging for any worker. So make sure to buy, to invest in a close node to any city, because you have a free worker space, free worker slot.
Mm.
Like here in Olivia, you can go to this worker supervisor Cafu and hire a worker. First worker will be free without any lodgings. You just need to consume some energy and you hire one and invest. For me, I invested in this Casta farm for grapes. I have an artisan goblin over here. He keep giving me grapes all the time. As you can see at Olivia, grapes are a fruit, so you can make anything needs a fruit. Grapes are good. Uh, there's
Mm.
another node over here. Have olives. If you need olives, olives are vegetables. So if you need something to cook, you need vegetables. You can use this one. For Calphion, the best node to take is this one because it's big. This northern wet plat plantation, plantation, northern wet plantation. It has three nodes, three farms: paprika farm, wet farm, and barley farm. And there is also another thing, is a like investment bank, but for me I don't use this one because it need like so much time. You bought a gold bar and it gives you silver over time, so you can actually have a worker that working for you with gold and gives you silver, and you of course you will keep this gold bar. You just invest with it and you will keep it, and he will keep giving you silver all the time, but it needs like one day each time he do one job. Each one job, it doesn't take like 1 or 2 hours, take like one day or 2 days. So for me it's not worth, and it's not that much of silver that he will give you. But for those who doesn't want any materials, just want silver, they can invest in this bank at Calvin. You see this bank, Summer? You see it
I'm at it. I
at
think I'm in.
at
Yeah, it says gold bar 1G and then silver.
yeah,
That's it?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one. You
How do you give him the gold bar?
you just
Mm-hmm.
bought the gold bar in Calvion storage. You bought the gold bar at Calvion storage.
Mm-hmm.
The goblin will use this gold bar. While he using this gold bar, you can't use it, you can't sell it or do anything with it until he finished.
Mm.
So it's like a material to him, and when he finished, he will return this gold bar to the storage, and he will give you silver, like like a fee or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like an interest. You have an interest. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Mm.
uh, it's easy to see what nodes do you need in this game. Like we have the closer the node, the better. Because if there is a faraway node, you need to invest so much contribution points to reach to that node, and the more contribution points, the less worth. So this one, like Velia, I have this Fento farm and Bartel farm and Logia farm and Coastal Cave. These farms are directly connected to Velia, so I only invest a little contribution point, like maybe one contribution point, and that's it. And then I go invest in the farm. So the close node only need like 2 to 3 contribution points. That's it. And
Mm.
you need one contribution point for to hire the worker. You know, for his room slot, the loading. So the
Mm.
whole thing needs like 4 contribution points. You need to make it like a standard to you. Every 4 contribution points, 3 to 4 contribution points, you need to have a working progress.
Gee, if you it's all over the place.
Yeah,
Hmm? So you need a lot of characters, and every time when they have a little energy, you put it in a note.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
This will increase your nodes level, and of
Mm.
course the outload. It will give you more items, more resources that you will do whatever you want, sell them or process them or use them in cooking, whatever.
Mm.
There's cooking ingredients all over the nodes. So if you cook, you actually need so much nodes
Mm.
to save to save some money, because you don't want to buy everything from market. You just have them all the time in your storage, like as you can see here in my storage, the potato barely wet, uh, the wood, like the timber, maple timber or ash timber, anything for the ores, copper ore or iron ore, coal, and all this stuff. So whatever you need, whatever you want to do with the materials, for whatever you want to do with the resources, it's up to you. You want to process them, you want to cook, you want to sell directly, it's up to you. But it will give you, of course, uh, more money if you process them or cook them or use them. So
Mhm.
okay, about how to get the node. uh, each node have an information, like this node gives pumpkin, so you can see that if pumpkins are worth to get, if you want to cook, it's good for you, so you get this farm, you get this node. This is a cooking honey. If cooking honey is worth, you get this node. But if you have like a node that doesn't give something that you need, or not a worth thing, like this mushrooms, you don't bother yourself with it. You keep your contribution for more important thing, like this node. Let me see. This node uh, gives some trash loot, like a goblin's trash loot, but it also gives trace of the earth and the trace of ascension. So these both traces so expensive at market, so it's worth to get this node, even if it's far away. You need to open many nodes, to reach him, to connect to him, but it's still worth, because the price of this loot, of this trace, is so high at market. As you can see, the trace of ascension is 122,000, and trace of earth is 163. So it's worth. You can get millions out of this, especially if you increase this node level, you will get more. As you know, you get more item drop rate, so you get more of this node. And of course, send a high grade and high level worker to this node, so you can get also more, and he will work faster over there, so you get more outload. Okay, so Heidel have many nodes around it. You can take, if you have like 100 contribution points, you don't know what to do with it, you can take the northern Heidel quarry with the copper and iron. You can take the Alejandro farm with the pumpkin and cooking honey. You can take the Lynch farm ruins that can give you also trash loot, trace of savagery, and trace of hunting. It's also very good for alchemy, or you can sell them to the market. And this one gives silver azalea. It's not that worth, but it's an easy node, so I opened it. You can use silver azalea in alchemy too. You have this Costa farm. Is a very good farm, because it's a very good node, because it have 3 farms, this Costa farm. And there is the Moretti plantation, and plantation. It have 2 farms, wet farm and flax farm. So these are a very good nodes to take as a start around Heidel. And of course you need a storage space, because if your storage are full, the workers will stop working. Even if you have potato, and your worker are working in a potato farm, if you have your storage full, he will stop. Even if you have a slot for a potato, he will stop. That's how workers work at BDO. So you need to make sure that the storage have a free space, always free slots, at least one free slot, so all the worker will keep working, they non-stop. Okay, if you want to know how to increase your storage space at the city, you can buy the storage with your contribution point. As you can see, you can buy storage with contribution point. So each level gives you 3. First level give you 3 more spaces in the storage. Level 2 give you 5 more space in the storage. So the first level will give you 3, the second level will give you 2 more, so you will have 5 you will have 5 more spaces. As an overall, so don't mix this up again. The first level will give you 3, the second level will give you 2 more, not 5 more, 2 more. 5 is as an overall. Okay, we cleared this up. Okay, at Calcium City, as you can see, we have a great node here, the Northern Wet Plantation, Northern Wet Plantation. It have, as we spoke before, 3 farms: paprika, barley, and wheat, and also the bank, the little bank. If anyone want to invest some gold, but for me, I say it's not worth. And there is uh, some a little bit far away for nodes for Calphion, like this, for Nil's cabin can give you fir timber and fir sap. It's a good timber, high price, and fir sap is so high price. Or you can use it at alchemy, as we said before. You can use the resources you get from nodes in your life skilling or processing, cooking, alchemy, or just selling or trading, of course, because wood and ingots, you can use them for trading, but we will talk about this later. You can see I make trade at Calphion. I make crates for trading. Okay. Here at Keblan, you can have worker. I have the free worker, the free slot. I activated. I hired 1 worker because of the free slot, and I activated this node, the close node, with the coal and powder of rafts, and also this at Glash. I have the free worker slot. I hired 1, and I activated this close node, the southern swamp, with the iron and rough mud crystal. So as you can see,
So every time you want a burger in another city, you have to go to the city first.
yes,
Then you have to go to the burger.
yes, you need to
Mm,
go at least
mm,
1 time to that city
mm,
to hire the worker, and then you don't need to go to that city again. To activate a node, I want to mention this. To activate a node, you need to go to that node by yourself and talk to the node manager, like this. If you just press on the node, it will directly aim you to the node manager. So
mm,
if you want to activate any node, you need to go to the node manager by yourself, unless you activated the value back. If your value back is activated, as you can see, you can remotely activate nodes, but each node activated, it consume 10 energy points. It's not anything to mention, but you should know that you can activate the nodes, invest in the nodes with contribution points remotely, only if you have a value back activated. If you don't have a value back activated, you need to go there by yourself and activate it by the node manager. That's why there is a
mm.
node manager in each node.
But if you activate it when you have the value pack on, and it's gone, the value pack, you still have the node, yeah?
Yeah, if
Mm,
the value back
mm,
expired,
mm,
your nodes will be remain.
mm,
Everything, nothing will change.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
If you want to invest with energy in a node to increase its level, you don't need anything. You can remotely do it anytime without any value back. You just click on it and invest energy however you want. Of course, uh, each one represents 10 energy. If I want to invest 1 in this node, it means that I am investing with 10 energy. So I have 3.
Mm.
Yeah, so now I have 300 energy. When I want to invest energy in this node to increase its level, I have an option. At maximum I can invest 30 time. So 30 time means 300 energy, because each time consume
Mm.
10 energy. Yeah, I will consume I will use one to show you. See, I have now 290. So it took 10 energy points from me. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you don't have energy, you can take the energy tonic.
of
Nuh-uh.
course, of course, you can have the energy tonic.
I'm
Yeah.
using that now, so
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. You can use energy tonic, the viral item, or you can buy energy from market. If you don't know that,
mm-mm.
energy potions. There is a small energy potion, medium, large, or extra large. The small gives you 10 energy. The medium gives you 20. The large gives you 30, and the extra large gives you 50 energy. But beware that when you use any of these potions, you have a cooldown 10 minutes. Uh, Even if you used the small one and you want to use the medium one, you have 10 minutes cooldown. But if you used one potion from the market and you want to use energy tonic, they are separated. They are different items. You can use one energy tonic and one energy potion at the same time without cooldown.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Uh, Now I will talk about some special nodes that everybody need to take them. Really special nodes. First, I will go with this one, the Shuri farm at Media area territory. This Shura farm, you need to connect it to Altinova. Sorry, to Altinova. This is how you connect it to Altinova. This node gives you sweet potato. It's a sweet potato farm. It gives you sweet potato and high quality sweet potato and special sweet potato. So if you need, like, if you want to make beer, you need 5 potato or wet or sweet potato. You have a special sweet potato, you can use one instead of using 5 normal. So it's good to have this kind of grain stuff, like sweet potato. You have normal, high quality, and special. If you want to use special stuff, you have special and high quality.
Mm.
The next special node is also at Media, between Media and Valencia. It's called uh, Coned's vacation spot. It's next to Cadre ruins. This one, this node gives a purified water and a bag of muddy water, and you can also filter the bag of muddy water to get purified water. So the purified water have a high price at market, so it gives a very good amount of money, especially if you max level it. It will
Mm.
gives you a lot of money. or you can use it at alchemy if you are an alchemy person. If you have uh, a life skilling for alchemy, you can use this purified water at alchemy. As you can see, it gives a really good amount of money. Purified water is always high price, so it's good. Another node I want to mention is an Akando Harbor. You can hire a worker over here and invest at this node, the Kmash Canyon, to get some vanadium ore, powder of rifts, and rough blue crystal. The vanadium ore is so high also. It's a really high price material resource. As you can see, the vanadium ore, you can see there is a pre-order at max price, and it's always high. It's always high price, so it's a really good resource for a node. You also have this good node. It's next to Shakatu area city. I have 2 workers here, not just one. I bought one logging over here, so to hire them at this node, these 2 farms, the fig farms, because fig is also good for cooking and for selling. If you want to sell it to market, they have a good price, as you can see. So always having a fig for selling or for cooking, especially if you cook a Valencian meal, you need a fig pie. Okay, this Arihaza area is in the, maybe some of you don't even didn't even reach to this city yet. If you don't, you must. It have a storage and of course a free worker. I invested in this node, Ariha Palm Forest. You can get palm timber, coconut, and palm plank. As you can see, it gives a lot of palm timber. The drop rate is crazy over here. I don't know why. Maybe because it's too far, but it gives a lot of timber and plank, and it gives you some coconut, so it's a good price, and you can use it for cooking too or sell it. So it's a special node too. There is another special node to be mentioned here in Dovenkran. In Dovenkran, there is you need to open this node to invest in this one, this gate, the Night Crow Post, so you can reach to Shira Ruins. Shira Ruins is a good place for grinding if you are a new player, or you have a season character still low level. It's a good place to grind in. As you can see, the loot and everything. There is a node over here that gives bracken. Bracken is so high price. You can use them for cooking, or you can just sell them. Even if you sell them, it's a really high profit, because it's always pre-ordered at market at highest price at 15,000. So it's a really high price item resource. So for me, this is the special nodes that everyone should have, and other nodes you can, as you can see, you can copy my nodes, or you can use what you need. You can open the nodes that you need, and as I'm telling you, you can have, if you have a workers empire like me, you can have like 100 raw, 100 million a day, just by raw items that workers gives you. If you have like a 100 worker, you can easily get 100 million per day, just as a raw materials and resources, if you just want to sell them to the
Mm.
market. Yeah,
Yeah, so you have to go to every big city
yeah,
first to
yeah,
the node manager, and then you can do this.
yeah. You need
Mm.
to go to every city
You,
to hire
mm-hmm.
at least one time to hire the workers you need,
Mm.
and then you don't need to go to that area again, especially after the Magnus. You can take any resource from any city, anytime and anywhere, of course. As you can see, I want to
Mm-hmm.
take from media, from tariff. I can take and then put it in Heidel. So it's really easy.
Yeah, that's only for the people who did madness, huh?
Yeah, of course. That only for the people who did madness. If you
Yeah.
didn't do madness, of course, there's a videos on my channel too, for a complete guide from the
Mm-hmm.
first to the last quest at Magnus. Madness. A very fast guide, speed up. So it's like speed rush. You can. There is no. You don't need to watch the whole thing. You just need to see how the puzzles are solved.
Mm. Yes,
Yes,
I will do that tomorrow. Thank you.
of course.
I'll
No
follow
problem.
your video.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
No problem.